now.
Okay, great. Good morning, grade 10. Today we will be continuing with our writing lesson, and we will be discussing a argument, and we'll break this argument down, and then we will also be discussing some of your homework. Now, I know a lot of you have not sent me your homework, so this is a call to action, and for after today's lesson, I really want you guys to work on writing, and not to be afraid of, because I can't help you improve if you don't send me work so that I can give you feedback. And it's not critical feedback. We're not trying to, we want to improve your writing. So everything that you send to me, if you don't want to share your work, then that's fine. You just have to let me know. Today, Mazen's offered to talk about his argument, and if anyone else would like to share theirs, please feel free. Today, what we'll do first is we will start by reading the sample argument again. I think we've only read the first paragraph.
Alaikum salam. Ziad and Abdullah Al-Garni. Ziad and Abdullah Al-Garni.
Ziad and Abdullah Al-Garni?
Yes.
Okay, great. Mr. Omar, who is first on the list to read? We'll start by reading
Abdullah Lainzi.
Abdullah Lainzi?
Yes. Yes, Mr.
Do you mind reading?
Yes, Abdullah. I said we are going to start with you this morning, right?
Okay.
Cool.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Good morning,
Can you
love.
read the first? Actually, we'll do half of it, and then just so that more people can read, just to hear.
Yeah.
I read. Mr.
Yes, from the Smart Pill.
Yes. The Smart Pill. Critique. Adapted from Super Pill to get students brains together. Jeremy Lawrence, London.
Very good.
What this word, Mr.? Sorry.
Debilitating.
Mental diseases like
debilitating.
Yes, debilitating mental diseases like Alzheimer's and
Alzheimer's.
What?
Alzheimer's
and other forms of the dementia have a huge social and financial.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. سليمان.
لسه رحت أعدل نت ورجعت.
It's okay, love. It's okay.
So financial impact. So from here now.
Yes. As a consequence, scientists have been trying to find a cure by developing drugs that slow mental deterioration and enhance memory retention. According to research McNally, 1998.
Morning, Muhammad.
Sorry for that.
It's okay.
1998, Jonas, 2001, more than 200 chemical compounds that will boost memory and learning ability are currently being developed by pharmaceutical companies.
Very good. Thank you so much for reading. So we have some hard words here. So this Alzheimer's, it's quite difficult because it's sort of like a silent E. Debilitating and consequence and deterioration. So these words are quite difficult. And pharmaceutical is quite difficult too. Pharmaceutical. So great job. So the first paragraph is very broad. He brings a broad context in so that he can narrow down towards his main point. His topic sentence, so it looks like this is his topic sentence. scientists have been trying to find a cure by developing drugs that slow mental deterioration, enhance memory retention. According to researchers, so this is how he brings in his research. He says, according to researchers. However, he could say something like, according to the research, according to the studies, studies show. This is a good way to. We looked up at ways to introduce the evidence, and that was here. So this indicates that there is evidence to show that this is supported by, and remember Smith was the author, as author claims, author states. So these are ways to introduce our evidence, or the current state research, and he's used in-text referencing, so the author's last name and the year it was published. Okay, who is next on the list to read? Mazen, you have a question?
Yes, what does the word dementia mean in the first line?
Dementia. So dementia is when you slowly lose your memory. Dementia is when you slowly lose your memory. Your I guess connections in your brain. You struggle to remember people and things and how to do things. Dementia is a very common form of
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, a form of Alzheimer's. That's it's when you lose your memory to remember things, and you might not remember. It's a sad thing that it's very common that happens to older people. So it's important to exercise your brain, because your brain is very important, especially when you become older. And sometimes it's not possible to do anything about it. It's genetic, or I guess brought upon.
If we use context clues here, Mr. Anthony, for example, it says here debilitating mental diseases like Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. So that we can assume that Alzheimer is a form of dementia, sorry. So Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. If we use context clues here, Mazen. Have you got it? So
yes.
If you understand the meaning of the word Alzheimer's, so you can guess dementia, because Alzheimer is a form of dementia. See, Mazen? Cool.
Yes.
Thank you for asking. Abdullah Al-Bari. Good morning, Abdullah.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Can you
Abdullah.
confirm your number on my list, please?
First or second on top list.
Thank you.
Mr. Umar.
Yes, love.
Mr. You didn't attend me.
Who?
Saud Al-Harbi.
Saud Al-Harbi? No. I checked your name. Don't worry.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt Mr. Anthony.
Who was next on the list?
Next we have Abdullah Al-Bari. He's lucky. He just joined, but it is his turn.
I read.
Right.
Yes,
from the highlighted section.
If successful, the application of drugs could be much broader than just the treatment of dementia. Professor McGregor 2001 claims that the new drugs will have a wide appeal to students setting exams and admissions, workers wanting to edge over their rivals.
So can we assume that this is the claim here for this article, Mr. Anthony?
Yes, this would be the claim, because it says in the statement claims that he's saying that this author is claiming that the new drugs will have a wide appeal to students sitting exams. So it explains why these because it says here they're trying to find a cure by developing drugs. So he's leading into, I guess, what the argument is going to be about, and it's going to be about these new drugs that have an appeal to students sitting exams and ambitious workers wanting an edge over their rivals. So these are the implications or uses for the drugs. So very good. Let's move to his first paragraph. So who is next on the list?
Next is Abdullah Al-Garni.
Yes.
Okay, so let's read to here.
Okay. There seems to be some evidence that a smart pills is a possibility. Experimental trials of a new class of cognitive
Very good.
enhancers called impakins have supposedly
Ampakines.
have supposedly had positive results without the severe side effects.
Yeah, severe side effects. So do you guys know what the word severe means?
No.
Does anyone know what the word severe means? Does anyone want to take a guess?
I
talking
think
about
it's
side
the
effect?
same. Yeah, the same meaning as several. Or
No. If we are talking about
Similar,
severe,
no.
if we are talking about severe weather conditions, for example, or
like-
we are talking about severe measures that are taken during the lockdown.
In this context, I think it's like a very risky or a very dangerous side effect.
Okay.
Very good. Yeah, dangerous or bad. They can have, it might be dangerous or bad side effects.
We can also say
Strong
extreme.
exists.
Extreme, yeah, so strong or extreme. Yes, good night, good guessing. Thank you.
Very, very good. And what about the word cognitive? Does anyone have it? Does anyone have it?
If some people consume coffee so that
I know what
it improves their cognitive abilities, for example.
Mister, can I answer?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Yes. I think cognitive means that has to do with thinking and mind.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good.
Exactly. That's to do
Who was
with
that? Who was
the
that? Sorry,
mind,
Hamad
the brain.
Rafa.
Because
Yes.
cognition.
Yes.
That was Muhammad Rafa.
Yeah. All right.
Very good, Matt. So there seems to be some evidence that a smart pill is a possibility. Experimental trials of a new class of cognitive enhancers, so improving your memory,
Brain functions.
or
Yeah.
brain functions, and this is obviously a type of drug. Supposedly had positive results without bad or severe side effects. Great. So this is the positive, first positive
Evidence, supporting
part
the
of its
idea.
body paragraph.
That support these pills in support. That's in support of using this pill, that it can increase or it can boost your cognitive ability without any side effects. All right. How's the author gonna support this evidence, Mr. Anthony? Yeah.
Yes, he's supporting it. He's now going to bring in his
Research findings. Yeah.
So this research that he's about to bring in is going to give him some credibility to support his the statement. So let's go on to the reading and find out what his research is. Who's next, Mr. Omar?
Next we have Abdullah Al-Hidayti.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Omar.
Read for us, Miss Love.
Mr. I can't see. I'm using mobile.
Okay.
So
can you zoom in a bit, Mr. Anthony, please? When it is clear enough for you, say enough, Abdullah.
It's enough now, Mr.
Okay.
Okay.
Current research.
McGaugh. That's a hard one. Gore. That's G-A-U-H. Gore. McGaugh.
McGaugh 2001. In the
Kates. Indicate.
black screen. And so,
indicates.
Can you not see it?
Okay. Indicates that rates taught to avoid one part of a maze by electric shock treatment. Reminder the information up to a month after word when gave the drug compared to the control group, which forgot within 24 hours. I can't pronounce this one.
Ampakines.
This is the name of the drug.
Has also, okay. Also had
remarkable effects
in McGaugh 2001
page
75. Page 75.
Thank you so much.
Muhammad Al-Muhsin, and it's now 10:11. Good morning, Muhammad.
Good morning, Muhammad. So we're just continuing with the reading. We've just found out the research. Current research by this author indicates that rats to avoid one part of the maze may use electric shock, and they remember information up to a month afterwards when given a drug. So this is ampakines. It's some sort of drug that they're experimenting, and they have found remarkable, meaning positive effects in humans.
So actually, this paragraph introduces an argument, a positive case to support the argument that this drug can be used by humans to boost students' memory, for example, and this is the controlling idea, or the fifth statement. And this is the first line introduces the positive case, and then the author supports the evidence or the supporting idea with research evidence, right?
Very good. So now let's look at his next paragraph. Who's next on the list?
I think I'm next.
Okay.
So negative case or a counter argument here?
All right. Can I read now?
Yes.
However, these claims needs to be treated with caution. The chair of CIBA Foundation says that the 140 smart pills already being sold in California, none were effective and some were actually hazardous. One cognitive enhancer, Tacrine.
Hazardous and enhancer.
Enhancer Tacrine has produced only modest effective, slowing mental
deterioration.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Deterioration.
Deterioration by just 6 months. While its side effects, such as liver damage, have been very severe.
Severe. Very good. So this is the negative. This is where he brings in his negative case.
Or the counter argument.
And for his counter argument. and it doesn't seem. He makes a clear point that it doesn't seem that a lot of these are actually they actually can be hazardous, meaning dangerous or harmful to humans.
And he's given us an example with one medication, which is Tacrine or Tacrine, whatever. But this is the name here. He's giving us an example with this, and we see what happens when people used it.
Mm-hmm. It's very common to see liver damage with medications because your liver cannot process the compounds, the chemical compounds. So let's continue to read. Who would like to read? Who's
now,
next on the list?
The next on the list is Ahmed Faiz. Ahmed Faiz. Ahmed.
Yes.
Ahmed.
Yes.
Can you please read for me this last paragraph? Last sentence.
Read it.
Yes, please.
While ambicans are supposed to have reduced side effects, there is little information on what these are, and as yet no confirmation on the supposed remarkable effects in humans.
Okay, great. So you can see now clearly that he's introduced it, and he's ending with his counter argument here. So at first he said that these have a good potential. They show promising. They can show promising signs in their studies. However, now he seems to be, his counter argument or his opposing idea. There's no confirmation on the supposed remarkable effects in humans. So he's pointing out that there's promise to them, but there isn't. Out of 140 smart pills already being sold, there's none were effective and were actually hazardous. So he's now bringing to attention the readers that they actually can be dangerous, these pills. Even though he started positive, he's now moved the reader's attention to the dangers of magic pills or these super pills. So let's look at the concluding sentence. So who's next on the list? Mr. Omar, who is next on the list?
We have Ibrahim.
Okay. While the idea of a smart pill is likely to be popular with the students and high achievers, there is a little evidence that such a pill exists, and especially one without risk. Summarizing reasons against the beneficial. At the same time, all the current research is focused on enhancing memory retention.
Very good. So he's summarizing his reasons against his, I guess, first point. And so they're likely to be popular, but there isn't actually a lot of evidence that suggests that they're not harmful or dangerous, again, especially one without risk. Okay, very good. And who's next on the list?
Yes, me, Mazen.
Mazen?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Yesterday, the class finished before you asked me.
What time does this class finish? At 9, at 10?
10:30.
He didn't get a chance to participate in yesterday's class. This is
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Saud?
Me too, mister.
Who is that?
Mohammed
Saud
Al-Qarni.
Al-Harbi.
Mohammed Al-Qarni and Saud Al-Harbi. Okay.
Okay, well, Mazen, actually, we'll skip Mazen because you're gonna help us read your
Yes,
bit of. Let's move. Who's after Mazen on the list?
Muhammad Al-Muhsin.
Muhammad Al-Muhsin.
Yes.
Can you read for me, Muhammad, from here? While.
Yes.
Muhammad Al-Muhsin.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you read for us, please?
While this would be person in saying short-term memory,
No. Beneficial. While this would be, sorry.
Yes, sufferers and those with Alzheimer.
Very good.
It will only be of limited use to the normal person, i.e. enhancing short-term memory during a specific task.
Very good. So these very good. He's explaining that they might not have it's only limited of use to a normal person, and enhances short-term memory maybe for a specific task. So that people might have improved memory retention for a task, but however there's a lot of limited use for it being the pill that that everyone uses. It's not very safe. So very good. That's the implications or his reasons.
Next is Abdullah Al-Qarni.
Abdullah Al-Qarni.
Muhammad Al-Qarni. Sorry, Muhammad Al-Qarni. Muhammad Al-Qarni.
Yeah, Mister.
Yeah,
Mister. Being smart entails more just training information. The benefit of smart pills, should it be developed, will be limited and unlikely to be worth the risk.
Very good. So This is how he concludes. So he probably summarizes in brief that the benefit. So first, there was a benefit. Should it be developed, and if so, it would be very limited and unlikely to be worth the risk, because he explained previously that it could have some hazardous effects. So very good, guys. So this is this argument, and it's a little bit shorter than the 5 paragraph structure. He only has one supporting paragraph, and then he has one negative paragraph or opposing paragraph, and then his conclusion. So this is though an argument, because he's arguing, he's changing argument or critique, and he's critiquing the actual effects and the use of a smart pill. So very good, guys. Thanks for everyone reading. Mazen, would you mind please reading your homework?
Yes, okay.
All right. Because Mazen, I'm really happy with Mazen. He's one of the only guys out of the class that have actually sent me something. So after Mazen reads and we discuss, I would like everyone to start sending me in.
Mr. Anthony, sorry to interrupt. Can I go pop to the bathroom for a minute, please?
No problems, guys. Okay, so please start, Mazen.
Yes. Are cell phones dangerous? Cell phones are an essential part of our lives today. Most of us cannot live without our cell phone, and it's the first thing we see in the morning and the last thing we see at night. But we didn't think about its negative effects. Of course, there is a positive side for the phone.
but I think that the negative side most influential than the positive one. First, in this era, we have millions of people have cell phones, and there is a lot of people spend their time in talking to their friends or playing video games, which is just a waste of time. But on the other side, there is a lot of people spend their time in reading online books or search about a very helpful information, or like what we are doing right now, to use some students, they are using their mobile phones and taking online lessons, even if with the school teachers or with other teachers. So here we can say that the cell phones are useful to the people, but if you use it in a good way.
Mr. Anthony.
Yes, Abdullah Shafi.
No, I'm Naif.
Nice.
Yeah, I sent you an introduction paragraph, and you just made some small changes with it. So does that count that I made the homework?
Yeah, of course. Thanks. Thank you so much. Any information that you send me, I'll try to send you some feedback. I didn't send you as much feedback as maybe I should. Let's discuss now Mazen's introduction. It's a good introduction.
I have a question, Mr. Rad.
Yes, Abdullah Shafi.
Here, Mazen stated some negative and positive sides in one paragraph. Is it okay in the argumentative essay, because we have 3 body paragraphs? I think the first paragraph will state whether negative or positive side, and the second one is the other side that you're going to talk about, and third.
Very good point.
So, yeah.
Continue. Yeah. So I think maybe for the future, this is a good start. I mean, he's listing all of his opinions, but we should stick to maybe one positive or negative for the first, maybe positive, and then bring in the negative, depending on how you want to. This all depends, though, guys. You can have the counter argument at the start, depending if you want how you want to finish. If you want the reader to, be more like, if you end with a negative counter argument, usually that's sort of what you're going towards. However, if you think that, and he has got "Are cell phones dangerous?" So this is a good sort of argumentative question, because it's arguable. It's a good arguable title. I want to point out that Mazen's put in "I," and during an argument, we have to try and avoid using "I." Let's have a look. So most of us cannot live without our cell phone, and it is the first thing we see in the morning, and it's the last thing we see at night. But we didn't think about its negative effects. So to start with "but" here, it might look better if we use some stronger words, maybe like consequently, or so. This document that I sent is a very good way to so like some of these words, try and use them in your writing. It gives the reader a more so some of these are really good. Furthermore, you can use these to transition your ideas, or you could even start sentences with them. So let's have a look back. Where are we? Nope, here. So, but that's very good. The introduction, though, is good. It tells the reader that you're going to be talking about negative effects and also positive thing phone. However, what we'll need to do is we'll need to write our thesis statement. Morning. And our thesis statement will need to include what will the reader be, a summary of what the reader is talking about in the rest of the paragraphs. But we have to make sure that we're not using language like "I" and in our argument. However, That's good. So let's continue. And then I like how he's brought in first because it's
sorry to interrupt, Mr. Anthony, but I think there are some issues with the lexicon and some issues with the grammar in the above paragraph, which we are going to discuss because we're discussing only the ideas and the structure, right? So later on, inshallah, we're going to discuss the grammar points and the vocabulary points also.
Well, I have two questions, Mr. Anthony. So.
Yes.
First, is the thesis statement or whatever it's called? Is it for each paragraph or just the end of?
Statement is usually your main point that goes in your introduction sentence. Since we're low on time, we might have to look at the thesis statement. I have a video for us, but what time does this class finish?
Actually, it has already finished.
It had already finished. Okay, guys. Well, that's okay. We can discuss how to write if you want. I will send a video to look at the thesis statement, but it sets the reader up.
Abdullah, sorry, you are still confused about this, but the structure of a whole essay is the same as the structure of a paragraph. So a whole essay has a thesis statement which controls all the other paragraphs. But instead of, for example, discussing the supporting idea in only a couple of sentences in a paragraph, we discuss a supporting idea in a whole paragraph in an essay. Have you got the point?
Oh, so the thesis statement is
like the controlling idea for the whole article.
Yeah, and only used once.
Yes,
in the whole essay.
Only once, and you can repeat it again in the conclusion.
Mr. Umar.
Thank you very much.
Yes, love.
Mr. May I go to prepare for the next class?
Yeah, sure. But let me take the attendance first, make sure everyone is here. All right. I have checked here Abdullah Ahmed. Abdullah, if you don't hear your name, let me know, all right? I'm going to say the name very quickly. Go through the names very quickly. Abdullah Muhammad Bray, Abdullah Saleh Al-Garni, Abdullah Sami Al-Hidathi, Abdullah Shafi, Ahmed Faiz, Ibrahim Al-Nasir, Mazen Isam, Muhammad Abdul Rahman Al-Muhsin, Muhammad Ali Al-Garni, Muhammad Ali Al-Rafa', Muhammad Arif, Muhammad Ubaid, Naif Hatim, Riyad joined at 10:20, of course, and Muhammad Al-Salami joined at 10:10. And we have Saud Al-Harbi, Sulaiman Talal, and of course Ziad. Is Ziad still with us? Ziad?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm with you.
Okay, I think you didn't say my name, Mr.
Mister, did you call my name?
Ahmed?
Yes.
Ahmed. Yes, Ahmed, you even participated, love. Sorry, maybe
Yes,
I skipped
sorry,
it by mistake. Who else? Who else?
I didn't participate.
Okay, so tomorrow, inshallah, next class on
Mr.
Sunday, remind me to start with, we stopped at Muhammad Al-Garni,
Mister,
right?
did you send me?
Mr. Umar.
Yes.
Mr. I didn't participate this class and yesterday's class.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Saud. Okay, so inshallah, we're going to start upward from bottom to top next class, inshallah. So that
Me too, Mr.
Okay, I apologize for this. I apologize, but you know it's only 40 minutes. Sorry, boys. We try. You see, I am trying my best, wallahi, to be fair, but you can never be fair. I know because we are limited by the time. Okay, sorry. I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused.